Sleepy Hollow wasn't just another gothic horror fantasy. Behind Tim Burton's Twisted Trees and Johnny Depp's Pale Detective lies a production that almost collapsed under studio fear, last-minute rewrites, and one ending so dark they locked it away before test audiences could even see it. The version you watched? That's the compromise. The studio-approved cut. What most people don't realize is that Burton shot an entirely different finale, one where Ichabod Crane doesn't ride off into the sunset. He becomes the thing he feared most. These are 12 creepiest facts about Sleepy Hollow, and hidden in them is the shocking truth that the studio forced Burton to cut an ending where Ichabod becomes the very monster he was hunting. Number 1. Burton wanted Daniel Day-Lewis for Ichabod Crane, not Depp. Day-Lewis turned it down because he thought the script was too dark and didn't want to spend months covered in blood on a freezing English soundstage. The truth is, Day-Lewis had just finished The Boxer and was exhausted. He told Burton the role felt cursed. What were they afraid of? When Day-Lewis walked, Paramount panicked. They pushed Brad Pitt, then Liam Neeson. Burton hated both ideas. He wanted someone fragile, neurotic, strange, someone who looked like they'd faint at the sight of blood. So he went back to his old collaborator, Johnny Depp, who hadn't done a major studio film in 2 years after Fear and Loathing bombed. The studio thought Depp was box office poison. Burton threatened to quit if they blocked the casting. Paramount caved. That gamble saved the movie, but it nearly killed it first. Number 2. The Headless Horseman was played by Christopher Walken and a stuntman at the same time. Here's the trick. Walken wore the full costume for close-ups with the head still attached. Then they digitally erased it frame by frame in post-production, a process that took 6 months and cost nearly $3 million. But for the riding scenes, the jumps, the sword fights, that was Ray Park, the guy who played Darth Maul. Park did every stunt with a blue foam stump strapped to his neck. No head prop, just a bright blue cylinder. The crew said watching Park ride through the fog at night with that glowing blue neck looked like a glitch in reality. It freaked everyone out. Park said the hardest part wasn't the stunts. It was the cold. England in winter, freezing rain, mud everywhere. And that's exactly what Burton wanted. Real discomfort. Real dread. Number 3. The film's original ending had Ichabod Crane losing his mind and becoming the new Headless Horseman. According to early script drafts that leaked online in 2004, the final scene showed Ichabod riding back into the western woods at night, decapitating a random farmer in cold blood. No dialogue, no explanation, just him disappearing into the fog with the farmer's head tied to his saddle. The camera would pull back, fade to black. Credits. Test audiences in Burbank, September 1999, hated it. They booed. Some walked out. Paramount executives were in the room. They saw the reaction and immediately ordered reshoots. Burton fought them for 3 weeks. He lost. So they gave us the Ichabod gets the girl and moves to New York finale instead. Happy ending. Safe ending. That original version was never fully filmed, or so the studio claims, but crew members say otherwise. Number 4. Christina Ricci was hospitalized twice during production. She caught pneumonia in the 3rd week of shooting from standing in freezing water for a drowning scene. The studio wanted to replace her with Winona Ryder, who was their first choice anyway. Burton refused. He shut down production for 2 weeks and paid Ricci's medical bills out of his own pocket. Over $40,000. Why? Because Ricci was the only actor who understood his vision for Katrina Von Tassel. Not a damsel, not a love interest. A woman who's tougher and smarter than everyone assumes. The truth is, without Burton's loyalty, Ricci would have been fired, and the movie would have lost its emotional anchor. When she came back to set, the crew gave her a standing ovation. She cried. Then she finished the film without missing another day. Number 5. The Tree of the Dead set was so toxic it made cast and crew physically ill. The enormous hollow tree was built in a massive warehouse outside London using real rotting wood, preserved moss, animal bones, and a chemical fog mixture pumped through hidden vents. Within 3 days, people started getting migraines, nausea, dizziness. Some crew members claimed the set smelled like a fresh grave. Others said it smelled like sulfur. Here's the scary part. Burton loved it. He told the cast that the discomfort made their fear more authentic on camera. He refused to change the fog formula. The tree stayed toxic for the entire shoot. After filming wrapped, the set was torn down, hauled to a field, and burned. No one kept a piece. No one wanted to. Number 6. Johnny Depp modeled Ichabod Crane on Angela Lansbury and Roderick Spode from With Nail and Eye. Not kidding. He studied Lansbury's prim, fussy mannerisms from Murder, She Wrote, the way she'd adjust her glasses, purse her lips, and mixed them with the neurotic panic of Richard E. Grant's character. Burton didn't know until they were halfway through shooting. Depp finally told him during a lunch break. Burton laughed so hard he choked on his coffee and had to leave the room. That bizarre combo is why Ichabod feels both delicate and unhinged. Proper, but paranoid. It shouldn't work, but it does. And here's the thing. Depp never broke character between takes. He stayed twitchy and nervous all day. The crew started calling him the constable behind his back. Some found it funny. Others found it unsettling. Number 7. The film was nearly rated NC-17 for the decapitation scenes. The MPAA screened it in August 1999 and threatened to ban it from theaters unless Burton cut over 4 minutes of blood and gore. He refused, so Paramount, without telling Burton, hired a second editor to secretly create a clean version. They planned to release that cut and bury Burton's original. When Burton found the sanitized version on a studio server, he lost it. He screamed at executives for 2 hours in a Paramount conference room. Witnesses said he threw a chair. He threatened to take his name off the movie and tell the press everything. The compromise? They kept most of the blood, but trimmed each decapitation by 2 to 5 frames, just enough to dodge the NC-17. Those missing seconds add up to about 90 seconds of footage. It was never released. It's never been on any DVD or Blu-ray. And that leads to number 8. Number 8. There's a rumored gore cut that only exists in Paramount's vault. Some post-production workers claim Burton assembled a version with all the deleted violence, extended death scenes, and the original darker ending, just for his personal archive. A director's cut that was never meant to be sold. The studio denies it exists. But in 2005, a bootleg workprint surfaced on an underground file-sharing site showing at least 2 extra minutes of carnage. The magistrate's death was longer, more blood, more screaming. The horseman's kills were slower, more brutal. It vanished within 48 hours. Copyright takedown. Paramount legal team scrubbed it from the internet. What were they afraid of? Why pull it so fast if it wasn't real? Number 9. The windmill fight was completely unscripted. Burton told Depp and Casper Van Dien to just fight and break things, while 3 cameras rolled. No choreography. No stunt coordinator, just 2 actors swinging props in a burning set. The result is pure chaos. Wood shattering. Real panic. Actual fear in their eyes. Van Dien cut his hand on a wooden beam in the second take. You can see blood streaking down his sleeve in the final cut. They kept it. Depp dislocated his thumb. He popped it back in and kept filming. Burton's philosophy. Real pain makes real cinema. If it doesn't hurt, it doesn't feel true. And this is where it gets weird. Number 10. Miranda Richardson played Lady Van Tassel and her sister in the disguised flashback scenes, but the studio didn't want audiences to know. They feared the twist would be spoiled if people recognized her too early, so Richardson wore heavy prosthetics, a wig, colored contacts, and changed her voice entirely for the sisters' scenes. It took 3 hours of makeup every day. Test audiences still figured it out. 20 minutes in, people were whispering. Paramount panicked and almost cut the entire dual-role reveal from the script. They wanted to reshoot with a different actress and just make Lady Van Tassel a separate character. Burton fought back. He threatened to walk again. He won. But the fact they even considered erasing the film's central twist shows how little faith Paramount had in their own movie. They thought audiences were too dumb to follow it. Number 11. The film went $2 million over budget because Burton kept rebuilding sets. He hated the original Sleepy Hollow Village set. Too clean, too fake. So he ordered it torn down and rebuilt with more dirt, more rot, more authenticity. Then he hated that version too. They rebuilt it again. The studio stopped sending executives to set. They were terrified of what he'd demand next. Burton didn't care. He wanted perfection. By the time filming wrapped in April 1999, the production had burned through nearly $70 million, a massive sum for the time. Paramount thought they'd lose money. They braced for disaster. Then Sleepy Hollow opened in November and made $30 million in its first weekend. It ended up grossing $206 million worldwide. Burton never apologized. He didn't have to. The box office proved him right. Number 12. The final shot of the film, Ichabod and Katrina Kissing in New York, was filmed 3 months after principal photography wrapped. Why? Because test audiences wanted closure. They wanted to see the couple happy, safe, together. Burton hated it. He called it studio sentimentality and refused to direct the scene. So a second-unit director shot it without him. The original final shot was just the camera slowly pulling back from the Tree of the Dead in total silence. No music, no resolution, no hope. Just darkness and fog and the faint sound of hooves in the distance. That version screened exactly once, at a cast and crew screening in London, May 1999. Then it was locked in the Paramount vault. It's never been released, it's never been bootlegged, and it's never been seen since. Some editors who worked on the film claim that ending is the real ending, the one Burton wanted, the one that would have made Sleepy Hollow legendary. So here's the truth. Sleepy Hollow became a cult classic not because it played it safe, but because Tim Burton fought Paramount at every single turn. They tried to soften it. He refused. They tried to cut the blood. He threatened to quit. They tried to rewrite his ending. He pushed back until they compromised. And that lost ending where Ichabod becomes the monster, it's sitting in a vault somewhere in Los Angeles, locked away, forgotten. Maybe it'll surface one day. Maybe it won't. But the fact they buried it tells you everything you need to know about how scared they were of Burton's real vision. They wanted a fun Halloween movie. He gave them a nightmare they couldn't control. Thanks for watching. Hit like, drop a comment with your favorite fact, and subscribe for more creepy movie secrets.